Welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn. Yes.
Before we get started on this couple cam review, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Also, make sure you check out our Married at First Sight Season 11, Episode 5 review. If you love reading books or you don't have time to read books, you like listening to books, make sure you check out our Audible link in the description below.
And we're off, okay?
Couple cam started out this week. We saw a couple cam. A lot of interesting things in couple cam this week. I want to start. Who you want to start with?
Well, let's start first with, as they always do, all the couples are on Zoom together, just giving little updates. And Ashley and Anthony tell everybody that they're pregnant.
That she's pregnant.
They're having a baby.
They're having a baby.
Nitpicky.
Yes, they're having a baby.
They're having a baby. And I can't remember who said it, but somebody on there was like, I knew it. I want
to say it was Beth. I think Beth said it. Beth said it like, I knew it. But there was a couple missing. AJ and Stephanie was missing this time.
Shawnice and Jeff.
Yes.
So, but they shared that they're having a baby, that Ashley is pregnant, and Anthony wants to do a really big gender reveal party.
Yo, he wants balloons, he wants different colors, he wants drones, he wanted all. And now back story is that he got kind of deprived last time they had a baby. She just came and told him like, here, we having a girl.
Yeah, because he did not want to know.
He didn't want to know.
She told him anyway.
So he wants a big reveal.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to know this time until then. And so we'll get back to that later. And so then Jamie and Elizabeth shared that they're going home for a visit. They're going to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Jamie finally gave in.
Yes.
And he's going to give Beth what she wants to go home and see family.
And Deanna and Greg.
Because Deanna and Greg said, you got to come see us too. And they're like, okay, we're going to come see you too.
Yeah.
And so they agreed to do that. So from there, we start seeing the individual couples. At first, we have Jessica and Austin.
Yeah.
They're still looking for a house because they had this plan they're working. They did the dog first, and next they was trying to get a house.
And the last house they looked at was haunted. Allegedly.
Whoever lived there, left in a hurry. They left all their stuff. I don't know how they're living now because they have nothing. They left it there. But, so they're going to see a new house. This is the realtor says, you got to go see this house now. Go check this house out. And the house is beautiful. They love it. Yeah,
they love it. They walked in and they it's just like, Married at First Sight. We didn't know about the house. We didn't know about each other, but once we saw each other, we loved it. So guess what?
It's house at first sight.
It's house at first sight. And we love this. We love the house. And, even when the realtor called and told them that their bid was approved.
But before that, remember, they liked the house. Their issue was it was at the top of their budget. At the top of their budget. So the realtor calls and
tells them that they got approved for the house, or they won the bid, but it's at the top of their budget. And now they're worried. Like, can we really swing it? Can we really afford it?
They're not completely stressed, but they were like, okay, got to do some things.
Yeah.
Which also goes to later in the episode where they want to go on a date, but Jessica says, budget is tight. And so they do a paint and sip at the house.
Now look, there are things they do, a lot of stuff they do at the house, and I understand, some people like to drink. Everything involved this season has been involved in drinking. They did the bar thing, the bar hop, they did the beer thing,
they did the at-home brewery.
And look, it's all each his own. Everybody have fun with that. And guess what? They like to drink.
And Austin thinks that Jessica has been sipping a little early because she calls herself drawing Rex's bone. But apparently to Austin it looks like something else, and to the producers it does too, because when she turns it around they got it blurred out.
It looks like a male's organ.
Wherever it wasn't in the final picture, so whatever she was trying to draw, she covered it up because her Rex was big.
She didn't cover up, she started over. It's called editing. It's like give me a new canvas.
I think she went over top. I really do.
She might have went over top.
Because that's why her Rex was so big. I don't think she wanted Rex to be that big.
Oh yeah.
Because Austin's Rex was like this big, and so Jessica's Rex was this big.
And so when Rex voted.
Yeah, we were like, who's gonna determine the winner?
And Rex voted and picked Jessica's picture. But it was cute for them two to be doing things together. It's good to see a couple who just came off of marriage within their first year, and they're actually having fun with each other and really enjoying the process of marriage.
Yeah.
And so they're working things out, and they're doing it on their own time frame. They got the dog, now they're working on the house, and so they're doing things on their time frame, even in the midst of the pandemic. And I think the pandemic has been a blessing for the Married at First Sight brand, because you get to see these couples after the fact. Because prior to this, you didn't see couples after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see what couples did after the Married at First Sight show was over. But now with Jessica and Austin, you get to see how things working out.
Yeah. All right, so next, let's talk about the K&K connection. Keith and Kristine. Yeah. So Keith messed up the house.
He messed up the house. He thought he could put a new entrance to the basement in the house, not outside the house. He thought he could make a new entrance to the basement in the house, and he tore down some things.
Yeah. Now Kristine's dad has to fix it, and in order for him to fix it,
they got to leave.
They got to be out of his hair for a whole week.
They put him out, so they decided to take a trip. Decided to go to Maine.
Yes.
9-hour trip to Maine from Philadelphia. And they decided to go to Maine, and she joked on Keith about driving. I know we like to drive. We drive. We can drive. And we know how to share responsibility driving whenever we go across the country or wherever we go. We know how to drive. But she's like, man, you tired already? He's like
Grandpa.
Grandpa's
in traffic.
Grandpa in traffic.
Look at Grandpa driving. Watch out, Grandpa. And he was like, I don't appreciate you calling me Grandpa.
Like, dog, get on the road. It's a 9-hour trip drive. If it's 9, we get there about 7.5, 8. I'm just saying.
Y'all didn't hear that. We do be killing the road though when we get on a road trip though.
Yeah, we kill the road. We ain't no grandpa say that much. But nah.
GPS time is a time to beat.
The GPS time is the time to beat.
But yeah, she picked with him, call him Grandpa in traffic, but they're excited about getting there.
Yeah.
And they're excited about eating lobster. Yeah. Especially Keith. Keith's like, I'm gonna eat me some lobster. So we see them going through New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We saw them go through Connecticut too.
Yeah, Connecticut.
And they make it to Maine.
And all you wrestling fans out there, you saw the WWE towers. I just saw it. I noticed that. I'm a wrestling fan.
Anyway. No, but this is Married at First Sight stuff. They don't care about wrestling. But anyway, so yeah, they get there, and the place that they're staying is really nice. It's got a beautiful view.
Yeah.
And Keith's like, give it up for your boy. Your boy did good. Come on, America, give it up for your boy. And she plants a big fat one on his cheek, and she plops herself on the bed. He was like, that's how I know I did good. She threw herself on the bed.
He was proud of himself. And you know how husbands, you know how it is. When you plan something, you do something nice for your wife, and you want that appreciation. So he wanted that appreciation not only from Kristine, but he wanted from you and us in America. So Keith, I'm giving you your props. Big thumbs up.
Yeah. And so shortly thereafter, well, they have, like I said, they have a nice view.
Yeah.
Nice view of the water. And Keith was like, let's go. We trying to get this.
I'm trying to eat as much lobster as I can.
We try to get this lobster. And so the next day they have lobster for breakfast.
Lobster for lunch.
They have lobster for brunch.
Yeah.
They have lobster for lunch. They have lobster for dinner.
Right.
They have lobster for dinner. At every point in the day, they try to get some lobster because they looked at the world record for how much lobster was eaten in a day.
Like 44 times or something. Like, it was some number. And they didn't reach that. Put it that way.
But they got a lot. They got a lot. They had lobster roll. They had lobster Benedict. They had lobster bisque.
Lobster sub. I'm
feeling it. That was a lobster roll. They had a lobster BLT roll. Yeah. I mean, they had a lobster panini. Like, I was feeling it. No lie. I could do that.
What you gonna do?
I could eat lobster
we
that.
can take care of that.
But it was really cute. They having a good time. I mean, I like Keith and Kristine.
Yeah, they had fun together.
And it was good to get away. You know, they got a chance to get away in the midst of this
pandemic.
COVID-19 pandemic, you know, being stuck in the house. So even though Keith messed the house up, it was good that they got to get out of the house.
Yeah, and we get to see next week, they get to visit Jeffy and
Shawnice.
Shawnice.
Yep. All right, so speaking of trips, Then let's go to Elizabeth and Jamie.
Elizabeth and Jamie, it was great to see, their trip. They prepared themselves. Jamie was a little worried about catching COVID. They don't know how the procedure was going to be and what was going to take place. But I think the moment was when Elizabeth really got off the plane and there was an airport when she
I don't want to go past that. No, because I don't want to go past that just yet. Okay. Because Jamie was like, obviously flying has changed. You got different procedures. You're trying to stay safe.
Yeah.
And he was like, I really want to take Beth to visit. We want to go back home to visit. And he said, it sure would suck to come back in a week and have COVID. I was like, Jamie, it would suck though.
It would
but
suck.
I was like, wow, that's true. It's like, be so pressed to do a trip and then come back and I have to pay for it.
People worried about that. I mean,
obviously, yes.
I've been out of state since, been out of the area.
Right.
Close to out of state.
Right.
Since COVID, and it was where it was going to go out of state, but that plan got changed. But you worry about those things.
Mm-hmm.
You worry about that thing, and and I got to be careful. At least they together. So if he got COVID, they get COVID together.
Yeah, and Beth didn't much care.
She didn't care at all.
When she saw her family, I mean, she ran and she hugged up on her mama. They had their mask on. But she hugged up on her mama. She hugged up on her daddy. She was happy to see them.
Yeah, she was happy. She was definitely happy to see them. And that was good. And I enjoyed that moment that they saw each other and interacted. But I also enjoyed the moment that them and Deanna had by reminiscing.
Yeah.
Reminiscing about their season.
Yeah, they went to see Greg and Deanna.
Reminiscing about their season of Married at First Sight and how Deanna was like, I didn't really think you guys, after they showed a blow up that she had when she kicked the table and the camera went down. She's like, I really didn't think you guys would stay married. Mm-hmm. And then Deanna was basically giving them the props about, look, I'm glad you guys made it. Our season made it. They talked about babies. Beth said she was having a little baby fever.
Well, first of all, Beth brought like champagne and stuff to celebrate. And Greg was like, what we celebrating? She was like, y'all are having a baby. He said, whoa. We're working on having a baby. We're not having a baby. Not yet. Don't jump the gun.
Yeah, don't
I just eased into this having a baby thing, so just don't do that. And so Beth said she was having a little bit of, she wouldn't call it baby fever. She said she feels a tickle in her throat.
But you brought it up. That was funny because these are the same two that kind of lied on their applications.
Right.
For their season.
Right, because on their applications they said they would.
Yeah, but they really didn't.
They would want to have kids, but then we see them in the season talking to each other. It was like, nah, I don't think I want to have kids.
Yeah.
But it's funny how things change, because now she like, and even Jamie was acknowledged like, yeah, okay, I feel it.
But it's based off your circle though, because everybody in their circle, think about it, are having kids. And when you go to Bobby Danielle, Jamie has kids. Jamie and Doug. You have Ashley and Anthony that have kids. Kristine and Kristine not talking about any kids yet. AJ and them, but the majority of the people who are in this mix have kids, and you see them kids now. Deanna and Greg, your partners,
right,
from your season, talking about having kids, and Greg is giving in. So it's like, man, they having kids.
But I wonder how much of it is not just the people that are in this Married at First Sight thing with you, but you know people that just grow and start thinking different because they're with somebody and they want to share something. Like I was, I had a coworker that was adamant, I don't want to have kids. And then somewhere along the way, she changed her mind, and that little girl is a princess. That's their pride and joy. I think as you grow, you think about the reasons why I didn't want to have kids, and it kind of changes. Like, well, no, maybe I can have kids.
Yeah,
maybe I would.
Maybe I can do this. I can see that. I can see that.
All right, so, but they have a good time. Oh, Deanna and Elizabeth are talking to their imaginary kids. She's like, can you imagine telling your kids a story? This is how I met your father. I met him Married at First Sight. And Greg and Jamie are like, who are you talking to?
Talking to Little Jimmy.
Junior.
No, Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy's for something else.
Little Junior.
For them it was Little Junior. So that was funny. But let's see where we want to go. Oh, Ashley and Anthony, while we're on babies. So Ashley and Anthony, they talk about this gender reveal thing again.
Yeah.
And
they didn't want to do it the traditional way and try to find out from the doctor and wait.
Right.
They wanted to go through this kit that she found was it online?
I think so.
Yeah, she found online where you can get your blood sample and prick it and send it in. And she wanted to do that, but again, had to stay away from everybody else when you did it because you didn't want to get any DNAs mixed up.
Yeah, like Anthony couldn't touch it. He couldn't be around.
And all that. And so she even shared with Danielle, about the pregnancy and talked a little bit about how they were pregnant, which was interesting. Their first kids, they was pregnant, and they was like 5 weeks apart. Mm-hmm. Now they're both pregnant again, and they're like 5 weeks apart again. And so that was interesting, and as a little backdrop with those two, and they had a conversation, and they talk about getting together as, just seeing each other.
Yeah, after the fact, so the kids can play. And Ashley shared again that Anthony is obsessed with this gender reveal. He wants to do this gender reveal thing. And even when she and Anthony were talking about it, he was like, well, we'll have a gender reveal party. And Ashley was like, let's call it a sex party. He was like,
no, we don't want to do that.
I think people are going to bring the wrong kind of gifts. If you call it a sex party, it's a gender reveal. No, we don't want to do that.
Interpretation.
Yeah, so she gets this blood test, and you have to wash your hands for 2 minutes. You have to clean the surface of things. You have to air dry your hands, and Anthony
drink water 20 minutes before.
Oh yeah, she had drinking like a ton of Powerade before, and she was like, I think it's just about being hydrated. It's not about the water part. He was like, oh, you messed that up. And Anthony runs off because he can't be near her. And
she touches her
hair accidentally, so she has to start all over and wash her hands and she make sure I prick my finger right, and I don't want to have to do this all over again. But anyway, so she gets it done, and they determine, okay, so neither one of us, how do we make sure neither one of us finds out the gender? Because they email you the results. Yeah. And he says, well, I'm going to let's send it to my brother in the service. He's in Bahrain. And so they send it to him. Like, we're not going to hear back from this.
He'll get the results.
He'll get the results. And then, he'll give it to us for the gender reveal. And so later in the episode.
Hold on, before we go there. Because she mails it off.
Yeah.
And so when she mails it off. The issue becomes when she mails it off is she kind of lied to the post office. Like, it's not blood, it's not liquid. Yeah,
they asked, was it any hazardous material or liquid in the package?
Do you count that, though? It's a
technically, being in the health field, technically blood is considered like a hazardous material because it could get to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in that case that she put it in the box, somebody really would have to go in that package and really.
Plus, it's only a drop. It's just like you would use what it looked like she did. It's only a drop, like you would check your blood sugar.
Yeah.
So I don't think that matters.
You're like, you lied to federal government. I don't think we should say this on TV. but anyway, so it gets to the brother. The brother calls Anthony like, we got a problem.
Well, first of all, he calls and he's like, I got the email. He's like, no, you're not supposed to tell me. He was like, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
She didn't do it right.
She didn't do it right.
She had to do it again. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough specimen.
It was inconclusive.
Well, yeah, because there wasn't enough specimen.
Well, maybe because it was a Powerade. Maybe it was because she touched her hair, and Anthony believes that it was because she lied to the post office people.
It's karma.
It's karma. It's basic karma. We don't.
She gotta do it again.
She gotta do it again.
So that'll be interesting. That she has to do that whole process all over again. So.
And Bobby and Danielle.
They're funny. Yeah. So Bobby and Danielle. Like we said, Danielle and Ashley had a call, and Ashley shared that this pregnancy so far is much different from Mila. Mm-hmm. This time is rougher for her. And Danielle shares that so far, this one is better for me as compared to the other baby. And so we see Danielle later in the bathroom hugging the toilet. She said, I think I spoke too soon.
She told everybody she was doing well. The next thing you know, she's puking up. And then Bobby is like, man, I just hope, I pray for my wife. Basically, hopefully this doesn't happen the whole pregnancy.
Yeah.
Because she needs to eat, but she can't keep anything down. She's very particular about what she eat. On previous episodes, she was on this taco and Taco Bell kick or... she's eating, so now she's just miserable. And that was basically what they was talking about the whole time, her being sick and what do she need to do in order to stay healthy. Last time they gave her medicine.
And she said even with the medicine, she was still throwing up.
Up to the day that she gave birth.
Yeah, so. That's why, again, You know, I have experience with this. Like it is sometimes really bad for pregnant women. Like I remember having patients admitted to the hospital.
Yeah.
They call it hyperemesis gravidarum. So it's vomiting in pregnancy excessively. Like you have to get IV fluids, IV nausea medicine, and unfortunately, like she said, for some women, it's really bad. Even with the medicine, it doesn't help. So I'm hoping that she'll get over this hump after, once we get out of this first trimester. Because, gosh, that would be miserable.
That would definitely be miserable.
Yeah.
I don't know what... I'm glad... I say this the right way. I don't get pregnant. Take it...
And again, also what they're concerned, not just the vomiting, is that she had the HELP syndrome before.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't want to fall into that. And like the doctor said, and anybody that's been pregnant, you know, that each pregnancy is different. It's not necessarily a predictor of the other.
Yeah.
So they were like, we can't say because you had HELP syndrome before that you'll have it again. It's a 70% chance that you won't. Mm-hmm. And they're hoping that they'll fall into the 70%. And so her idea is just that I'm going to check my blood pressure regularly, and the doctor said that she should take a baby aspirin.
Yeah, baby aspirin.
Every day. And so she gets the blood pressure monitor, and the baby is funny because the baby straight snatches the monitor out the box.
Yeah.
Like she gonna take mama's blood pressure.
Like she gonna take it and become a little nurse.
Yeah. So that was cute. And so last but not least,
it's talking about baby issues. We come to Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie and Doug, and Jamie is not feeling. She's not feeling herself.
No, she's
not. Henley realized mommy's not feeling herself because she can't play with her and interact as much as she wants to with her, and Doug realized that Jamie's behavior is a little off, and
she's sleeping more, laying in bed, just dragging,
and she's able to feed Hendrix and everything, but she's just dragging.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the doctor, and she come to realize that she had postpartum depression. Mm-hmm. In which there's nothing she could do about that. There's nothing she could do for it. I know you can speak more on the medical term from it. It's nothing like she can just wake up and, I'm depressed today. It's something that women not have to, but some women go through after pregnancy.
Yeah, absolutely. The baby blues is a real thing. Postpartum depression. Because I'm a stickler for stuff. So when people say I have postpartum, everybody's postpartum. That's after a baby. Mm-hmm. It's postpartum depression. So yeah, it's just... Because and a lot of women go through this. It's like, I should be happy. I got my little family. I don't understand. We worked hard for Hendrix to come. It was a struggle. And now he's here. Why can't I pick myself up? And it's like really out of your control. And that's the point where she's at. She's like, I'm not sad that this happened. But it's just like, they kind of explain it with the hormones of pregnancy kind of go away. And it's like the hormone deficit there, and then just having to deal with life. It just comes upon women. I mean, I dealt with baby blues, I would say, a little bit after I had different circumstance after my oldest was born. But so Doug says that, he just wants to cheer Jamie up. Yeah. He has a really good idea.
And the idea was that they were going to write notes for Jamie and hide them around the house and stuff them in an egg and hide them around the house. Now, but Henley had another idea.
Wait, yes, she did. But first, the note that we just really loved, that my daughter pointed out, I was like, I didn't even see that because it kind of flashed by. She caught it though. He puts in the egg, you have the best breast milk in the world. And I was like, how would he know? And we were like, okay, he probably writing some of these from the kids. And so so they hide the eggs. And Henley hides the eggs. Yeah. At first, it didn't look like she was going to put them under no pillows. But she put it under pillows. And then they go get Jamie to find the eggs. Yeah. Well, Henley goes looking for the eggs as if she doesn't know where they are. And she finds the eggs. And she opens them.
And Doug reads them. And Jamie reads them. And sometimes Doug, and she loves it. Jamie loves them. Yeah. And she, starting to perk up a little bit because this is so cute, something that Doug did. And it made me think about their wedding. Like, she didn't want to be married to this guy, but this is the guy that who she needed in her life at this time. Absolutely. So I thought that was cute, how he helped to cheer her up.
Yeah, and I wanted to make this point. I wrote this down, but also even before that, when she was talking about what she was going through and how the doctor diagnosed her with postpartum depression, he was very encouraging. He was like, "You're such a good mom.
Yeah.
You're doing well." You know, he's like, he feels hopeless because he can't help her bring it out, but he's doing what he can by encouraging her. He gave her really good words, even before the egg, hiding of the eggs. He was very encouraging in that, and I know she appreciated that. Kudos to Doug. Go ahead, Doug.
Kudos to Doug. Also, you know, kudos to him, and you know, it just shows that what you have to do in marriage as a husband. Sometimes it's not always about the sex. It's not all about the communication. Sometimes you just have to be there and have to show the support. And I think Doug did a good job on that.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Hey, but thanks for joining us on this couple cam review. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Also, again, make sure you check out our Married at First Sight Season 11 Episode 5 review. Also, once again, if you read books, enjoy Audible books, make sure you check out the link in the description. Hey, as always, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.